Hey y'all. I just attended the city council meeting special session to talk about the police response to the protests virtually. And it was a lot. I believe that the live streams are available to the public afterward on the Austin, Texas website. I think I saw the videos for the last couple when I was pulling it up. So if you want to check it out, just be forewarned that, people do go into explicit details about the police brutality that they experienced at the protests. So, just take care of yourself. I know that I had to go sit outside and do some stretching when we broke for dinner in the middle of it. And I also just want to say, it took 7 hours from the time that I called in to when I was able to speak. And because so many people signed up to speak, everybody was supposed to have 3 minutes, but then they had to start only giving people 1 minute. And I don't say that, to try to, make anything out of it. I wanted to do it or I wouldn't have done it, but just to say that I have the privilege of having a job where I can be flexible about my work hours. And, I called in they called you, but they said, we're going to call you between 2:30 and 2:45. And then somehow at the end of the dinner break, before we got started again, my call dropped, so I had to call back in and get put at the end of the queue or towards the end. It's possible. I think there were still, a couple people going after me, but I left at that point. And so I just think that's just to say that I recognize that a lot of people on a Thursday night don't have 7 hours to be on their phone, and it's not like you can just do something else. You have to be waiting to hear your name for when they call your name to go next. So it's not like you can really do much of anything else. And at least I could be at home, and do it over the phone this time. Whereas, pre-COVID, you would have to go downtown to drive to City Hall, park, go there. And so, it would take even longer. And the mayor said that often these things, will last until midnight. And so it just feels like asking citizens to spend, 10 or 12 hours to talk for 60 seconds. It feels like there has to be a better system than that. How have we not come up with a better system? But I think it just made me realize how much I still have to learn, because I think, I realized that I don't even completely understand how city government works, and how is it that I have, a master's degree and postgraduate training, and I don't understand how my city government works. I feel like it's just been a wake-up call, because thinking, trying to figure out who to even talk to, or who to pressure, or who is the chief accountable to, and who is the city council accountable? Just what is the hierarchy of the city government, and who do I need to talk to? And I have concerns and all of those things, just realizing that I don't know that. And I do vote, but I think I rely a lot on the League of Women Voters, or the different lists that'll come out. And I don't know the members of the city council. I think just realizing like how much is happening in Austin and how much I haven't necessarily been tapped into, and how much is that the case for a lot of other people too. And so I don't know, just really feeling like I want to or need to educate myself so that I know who is in these positions when I'm moving this weekend. But just really like, how can I meant to be like, who is my city council representative, and like, is there a way to build a relationship with them, and like how does how do all the layers of the city government work, and like if I want to help trying to affect change with like all these budgetary issues, or concerns about like what the police are doing. Or I went to this training on Wednesday that was like for people in the healing professions, writ broadly. So that could be therapists, that could be or peers, or pastoral care, or yoga, Reiki, just kind of any sort of healing practitioner. But how to really get involved with activist movements to be able to provide healing justice, but in a way that you are like connected to the community. So I don't know. I feel like just wanting to truly like connect to my community in new ways and deeper ways than I have before. And I think it can be so easy to like get caught up in everything that you're doing with work or your friends, and like Austin's so big that the sense of like, what is the neighborhood that I live in, but I feel like it matters. And so I guess just wanting to say for myself, and maybe they'll be helpful to other people, and maybe especially white people who are like wondering what they can do. I think what we can do is like actually get invested in our communities and connecting to our communities and connecting with our neighbors, and like understanding what's going on around us, and like listening to the experiences that people are having that might not be the experiences that we're having, and thinking about how we make Austin a place that is good for everybody, and where like people want to be, and where people can be safe. And I think just I've been so focused on things at the national scale, in part because I've been working for like a national organization where I was talking for people over, and now I'm working for a company that technically like I have international people, and like I talk to people not only all over the United States but from a variety of countries. And so I feel like it can be easy to focus on like these big picture things and then feel hopeless to know how to change anything. But what I'm realizing is that what I could change is like, who is on the city council, like who is in these local positions, who are the judges, and like what is their deal, and like really knowing who they are as people in a way that I haven't before. And so like, is there a way that we could all truly be invested in our communities? and building relationships in our communities, so that if everybody did that, like if everybody focused on making their community the best that it could be, then that is going to have a ripple effect into the world. And so I think as a drama therapist, like everything I know about group dynamics and the importance of like building intentional spaces and safe spaces, like, you know, we can do all of that where we are. So just not only thinking about for groups of people that you might normally spend time with, but like who is in your neighborhood, you know, who is in, you know, the geographical location or like the district that you're in, kind of on a micro level. And I think in America we're encouraged to be individualistic in a way that disconnects us from our neighbors, especially when you don't live in a small town. So hopefully this isn't too rambly. I'm tired. That meeting was a lot, but I think it was really important, and I just want to make a commitment to do more things like that. And I think if we could all do that and just commit to like doing intentional things to connect to our communities, whatever that looks like, then maybe that's like where the hope is that things can change. And there are places where things are changing, but you just need enough people to put enough pressure to where they just can't not listen to you, because it's our job to listen.